This is about resetting the UK's relationship with our nearest neighbours, and particularly we're talking about how we reset that relationship and work together to tackle organised immigration crime, the smuggler gangs that organise these dangerous boat crossings that undermine our border security and put lives at risk. In order to tackle those gangs, we have to work with other European countries. These networks are spread right across Europe. We're determined to do that. That's why here in the UK we are setting up our new border security command, but they will be working right across Europe, and the discussions today are about paving the way for that really important work.
On that note, Home Secretary, I know you're still looking to appoint the new border security commander, and that's not likely to happen for some months from now. When would you like to see results from all of this? When will you be holding yourself to account, I guess? Is it months from now, a year from now, end of the Parliament?
Well, the establishment of the Border Security Command is already underway. We already have recruitment underway, not just for the new Border Security Commander, but also for new cross-border police, security and intelligence officers, specialist investigators as well. And we have immediately, even within the first fortnight of a new government, increased the UK officers based at Europol. We've already had meetings with Europol about strengthening that partnership, increasing UK participation in the task forces operating right across Europe in order to be able to go after the criminal gangs. We also want to make further progress around the information sharing, the crucial intelligence sharing with other European police forces and other law enforcement organisations as well. So a lot of that work is already underway, and we've also already taken the decision, we're already redeploying hundreds of Home Office staff away from the failed Rwanda partnership that really wasn't doing anything at all, and redeploying them into a new returns and enforcement unit so that we can make sure that we've got proper enforcement, proper returns in place.
On the topic of return agreements, does that mean that on some level the UK will have to accept a quota of migrants from the EU?
Well, the discussions here at Blenheim today are actually about security and about organised immigration crime and about that security cooperation. Of course, what we want to do is have increased returns and return arrangements right across the world, and that's part of what our new returns and enforcement unit will be doing, but it also needs to be operating within existing arrangements. But the focus today, and actually it has to be the first focus, is the security cooperation around borders and around tackling the organised immigration crime, the smuggler and trafficking gangs. Because if you don't go after them, to be honest, you don't get to any of the further steps in any of these discussions. So that has to be the first thing that we do. Otherwise, all that will happen is these gangs will find new ways around any arrangements and anything that any government puts in place.
Home Secretary, this morning we've also been listening to the results of Dame Vera Baird's report into Greater Manchester Police and strip searching. Andy Burnham suggested, as did the Chief Constable of Greater Manchester Police, Stephen Watson, that they'd be accepting the recommendations that Dame Vera Baird came up with. Andy Burnham said he'll be sending you the report and encouraging you to make these recommendations advice to go nationwide, not just for Greater Manchester. Will you consider that?
So this is a deeply disturbing report. There have to be proper standards in custody, just like there have to be proper standards right across policing. We've already set out our determination to make sure that we raise standards in policing, and that will include doing so through new legislation as well. I have already spoken to Kate Green, who is Andy Burnham's Deputy Mayor for policing in Greater Manchester, about the contents of this troubling report, and we will, of course, be keen to support Greater Manchester in the action that they need to take to turn this round.